This conference will now be recorded.
So last night, I had an experience I have never had before, and that was attending a Catholic wake. There was a deacon there who presided, and he went through the rosary with everybody. And there actually weren't enough seats in the at the funeral home. I was on the back row, so we got to the third mystery, and I got up and gave my seats away and went ahead and headed home. This was way on the other side of town. But the deacon told a story that I want to share with you. If you're not familiar with this, I'll just tell you, it's very brief. It's the story of Jesus's first miracle where he turned the water into wine. And the story goes that Jesus and his mother attended this wedding, and apparently it attracted the whole town because everybody showed up and they ran out of wine, which would have been a terrible embarrassment to the host and, put a crimp on the party. So uh, Jesus's mother, Mary, comes to him and asks him to do something about this. Apparently, she knew that, being the Son of God, he could solve the problem. But he answered her. It reads a little bit harshly in the New Testament. He says, "Woman, why is this my problem? This isn't my time yet." Meaning, he intended to do miracles and reveal himself, but it wasn't the right time. He hadn't done it, and he didn't want her pushing him ahead of schedule. Mary was not dissuaded at all. She simply turned to the servants at the party and said, "Well, do whatever he says." And so he told them to fill 6 large water pots. They hold 20 to 30 gallons apiece. They went and filled them with water, gave a cup to the master of ceremonies, and he said, "Oh my goodness, this is the best wine I've ever tasted in my life." So the deacon drew attention to the fact that um, Jesus was very purpose driven, and he would not be distracted, would not be pushed, except by his mother. That when she asked for something, obviously he was going to accommodate her, even if it wasn't part of plan A. But I wanted to focus this morning on what Jesus said. It's not my time. This is not my problem. He was basically saying what he lived throughout his life. I am purpose driven. I know why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing at all times, and I don't want to be taken off track to get involved in something else, even if it's a good cause, if it's going to keep me from fulfilling my purpose. That is exactly what Coach Michael Burt has been talking to us about this week. Some of you heard him speak on Monday. Many more of you heard him speak yesterday. And we're all going to get a chance to hear him again on May 2nd when he comes to be our featured speaker at Power Monday. But he's been talking about the prey drive, what we sometimes call the killer instinct, or if you're a Rocky fan, the eye of the tiger. Sometimes we call it the fire in the belly, but it refers to this sense that I know what I'm doing, and doggone it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to allow distraction to take me off task. I'm not going to allow complacency to cause me to just settle for mediocrity. But we have this sense all the time that we're on mission, that we're on purpose, that we're engaged in a great cause, and we're not going to settle for anything less. Now, when it comes to our business as real estate salespersons, that means that we are completely focused on generating business and serving our clients so that our pipeline is always full of past customers, active clients, and future prospects. We don't have to sit around twiddling our thumbs wondering, what are we going to do today? What is the day going to bring us? Hoping that the phone is going to ring or somebody's going to respond to an ad. We're out there proactively making it happen. We've got the eye of the tiger. We're on mission. Now, I wish I could say that was descriptive of all of us all the time, but I think we're all honest enough with ourselves to know that we are absolutely human, And we're subject to squirrel syndrome, just like anybody else, giving into distractions. It's very easy to get discouraged when we do take proactive efforts and we get silence on the other end, or we get rejection, or we simply don't see the results that we're looking for in a timely manner. And that honestly explains, in my mind, why the vast majority of agents honestly qualify for food stamps based upon the income that they earn in a year for a family of 4. I've done these numbers before and put them up in different classes that I've taught. Literally, the average real estate agent in America falls below the federal poverty guideline for a family of 4. How can that be possible in an industry where anything that you can imagine can be attained? It's because the prey drive has been blunted. The eye of the tiger has been dimmed, and we have just settled for kind of going through the motions, knowing we're going to get a deal here, we're going to get there, a cousin's going to buy a house someday, and we'll end the year with 3 or 4 transactions, or maybe 6 or 7, but never breaking through to truly significant revenue, life-changing money, life-changing for us and for our families. So I can't think of a better discussion to kind of kick things off for us this morning than doing an analysis of our own prey drive, doing a self-assessment. And so I've got a few questions I want to ask you, but the first one is simply this: what is the status of your prey drive right now? And this is the no judgment zone. We would prefer honesty, right, to artificial answers. But where are you at? Are you fired up, focused, being productive, or do you find yourself struggling, not just to gain traction with other people, but even to gain traction with yourself? Carol, did you want to get us started?
Yeah, I actually, after yesterday's class, it reignited in me because I still make my calls. I still try to set up appointments on a weekly basis, but it's just like I've been in that downhill slide. And so I haven't, because I did so great January, February, March, and I've got some things lingering from last year still. So I feel like I've gotten into a complacent place. And after yesterday, it's like, okay, I need to reignite myself. And so today I feel a whole lot more pumped and ready to get after it again.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And it's interesting that you say it's actually success that you've had, which has led to a sense of complacency because I've got some business, I've carried some stuff over. So we kind of lull ourselves to sleep thinking all is well because, well, we're working a couple deals and I've got a closing next month. So yeah, you're right. Success can also be a source of sabotage. Somebody else.
I can say something.
Yes,
I've been lost for a little bit, because it was a new area for me, but things are kind of falling in place, and I find myself every day, okay, so this past week, every morning I've been getting up at 5:30 and writing down what I need to do for the day. And that really gets me going because I think I just kind of talk myself into just being very motivated. Yes. I talk to myself in the mirror.
So at 5:30, you get up and you have some just time of introspection and planning, and
yes.
you write these things down that you want to accomplish through the day. Are they goals that you want to accomplish, or just activities that you want to perform in support of your goals?
So just the activities. I feel like I give myself small goals instead of giving. I mean, I think we all have big goals, right? But I think to get to those big goals, we have to achieve smaller milestones,
yes.
if I'm saying it correctly. So I think every day I just focus on that day. I mean, I'm starting to, and I feel that has helped me more than thinking about something that's a little farther away, because I feel like when it's a little farther away, I feel, I get a little, it's there. But whatever yes. I can achieve today is within my grasp and something I can achieve, I can complete today. So whenever at the end of the day, when I have completed that, I feel a sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
So I do have like goals that I've written down, but I mainly focus on one day at a time, I think.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
so no, I think that's very smart. People ask me all the time what my long-term plans are, long-term strategy, and I'm like, they're shocked when I tell them, I have some ideas of what I want to accomplish long-term in the future, but I don't focus on that at all because I just honestly don't believe in long-term planning. Too much changes. And honestly, we don't know enough right now to put plans in place for the long term. We don't have the knowledge and skills to do that. So like you, Sonu, rather than focusing on distant mountains, I focus on the near hills. What's the next hill to climb? And if you've ever actually done any mountain climbing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can see a distant mountain and it looks like it's an easy path. But you go up the nearest hill and you see, oh my goodness, there's a valley between here and there. So you go up to the next hill and then you see there's another valley. That's stuff that's completely invisible to you when you're at the base of the mountain. So I am a huge believer in look at the hill that's right in front of you and focus on the activities that are going to get you to the top of that hill to your next goal. And then from there, you'll be able to see more clearly what it's going to take to get to the next level. Right on. Okay, Kevin, then we'll come to Rochelle.
Some of us are blessed with so many things, and some of us need lessons repeatedly because we're really hard-headed, and that would be me. I was blessed to hear Coach on Monday as well, and I think that was the setting where he said, in effect, he said, imagine getting in an Uber and you tell the Uber, take me to Hobby Airport. And halfway down, you say, no, take me to Galleria. Yes. And then halfway you say, no, take me to the Starbucks on Main. And sooner or later, the Uber guy is going to throw you out.
Yeah.
That is me. Frank asked me, where's my goal? My goal's over there. Where's your goal today, Kevin? My goal's over there. Really? Yes. I thought it was this. How the heck are you going to get anywhere? I'm like a dog chasing my tail. And we talk about prey. We are prey. You become a newly licensed real estate agent, and every huckster on the planet, number one, they got your public record, so they're gunning for you. But God help you if you do what I do, which is click on things. Because if you ever click on anything on the interweb, forget it. You just bought yourself that and 10 more. Okay, yes. You know what I'm talking about. And so they are, and each of these gurus, bless their heart, they have wisdom. They do. They really do. Blythe is determined to make me an Instagram star. That just shows you that she believes in miracles. But really, not all. I think no. I'm kidding about Blythe. Blythe was spot on because she said in the beginning, you got to know where your people are, and you got to talk to your tribe. And if your tribe isn't on Instagram, maybe that's not for you. So all I'm saying is, back to your question. I have not experienced, or certainly not lately, the financial challenges that what did Brent Grove? Carol, you were sitting right there yesterday. He gave us the imitation of the life of the real estate agent. Ready? We're up, we're down, yeah. We're up, we're down, and everybody in the room could relate to it. How it's feast or famine. 1 minute you're all excited because and the next minute there's nothing in the pipeline. And I have not gone bankrupt, got real close, but my prey drive is not as, and it's just what Coach Michael said, needs, once they're met, no longer motivate. When my needs are met, they don't cause me to do things. So I am of late re-engaging. I love what Sonu said. Thank you very much. I'm doing that as well, what they call miracle morning, which for me is waking up at 5 a.m. and then doing a series of things. Guys, it's a free book out there, but it really is, you start your day, not just earlier, but better. And you start your day focused on my goals. So I'm not that guy in the Uber with 10 different destinations wondering why I don't really cover any ground. So great question there.
So Kevin, just one thought on that may help you. in terms of the distant mountain or the big goal that we're going for, one thing is to get really clear on that in your mind. Go through a process of determining, the life you want to live, the causes you want to fund, what that's going to take, set that goal, and then go public with it. And that's what I've done. I have been very vocal that I'm going to grow this Abby team to 1,000 agents. And it may go beyond that, but that I am laser focused on that. And I've been announcing that everywhere. Well, guess what? It's kind of really hard for me to say, well, 300 would be fine, because I've been saying 1,000 from the beginning, and I'm still saying it. I'm still, and with my mortgage company, 50 closings a month. And I drive my loan officers nuts talking about that over and over and over. But I have never swerved from that, never swayed from it. So get it in your mind, get fixed on it. Now you can adjust your tactics and strategies to get there. But once you announce that goal, it will subconsciously push your behavior, your activities in a direction towards achieving that goal. Rochelle had her light on, and then after Rochelle, we're going to go to Michelle. Rochelle?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm just feeling all out of sorts because as a new agent, you're trying to learn how to do your marketing, how to learn all the systems, needing a mentor. And then you're, kind of distracted by all the external things, the kids, your aging parents, your health, all of that stuff. So I'm just like all over the place.
Rochelle, how long have you been a licensed real estate agent?
A year and a half.
Okay, all right. So there is a learning curve. Or have you been doing it full time the entire time?
No, not the entire time.
Okay, so in my experience, an agent who launches a career and they focus on it full time, and I mean 40 hours a week plus of real focused energy, it takes about 6 months for the clouds to part and the fog to lift, and for you to suddenly feel like you're competent, that you know what you're doing. And if you've been doing it part-time, obviously it's going to take much longer than that. So my encouragement to you would just be patient with yourself. That initial confusion is part of the process, and there's no way to get around it. You're doing so many things for the first time ever and there's so many things to be doing for the first time ever that it is confusing. But allot the required amount of time to drill in and focus. But those are just mechanical issues. How to open a lockbox, how to put together a CMA. Those are mechanics that you can learn. While you're learning that, you still need to create a passionate, life-driven goal for yourself. And it should be in a relatively short period of time. Like, what do I want to accomplish in my first 12 months? I realize it's a learning year, but it also needs to be an earning year. And what do I want to earn? And that earning goal will actually drive your learning, because it's only as you begin to engage with buyers and sellers that you actually learn anything. So set them both. Here are the things I need to learn. Here's what I am committed to earn. And both will support each other.
Okay.
Michelle, I see you've got your light on. You want to join this discussion?
I do. I love that. Learning year and earning year.
Yes.
That's great for new people. I've never heard that. That's fantastic. I just wanted to share, there's a book called The 12-Week Year, and the principle,
Yes.
You don't have to go get the book and read it. You can if you've got time. But the principle is that you divide your year up into 3 months. So you do 12 weeks at a time. So it keeps a shorter time frame. You go through your 12 months, identify what you're going to do, evaluate it at the end of it, and celebrate. And then start again. So just like we've been through Q1. So there's your first 12 weeks. You can start your 12 weeks today, but doing it in small chunks like that, because planning for a year can be a little overwhelming. So for me,
Yes.
the whole doing it in 12 weeks has been very, very helpful and helped me to focus in on getting things actually done instead of squirreling around everywhere.
Yeah, Michelle, I appreciate you bringing that up. I think that book The 12-Week Year has been one of the most influential books among the people that I work with that I've ever heard. Michelle, I've heard it not just from you, but from many other agents who said it's been transformative for them. I myself read it probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was very impactful. And it's that whole concept of just tackle the little hill. Don't worry about the giant mountain, right? The little hill, but it's not just designed for short-term goals. What its attempts to do is to dramatically accelerate your productivity so that if you follow the guidelines, you'll probably accomplish in 12 weeks what would have taken you an entire year to get done. So it really is a tool to help get you laser focused on productive activity. All right. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Victoria, you had your light on. Did you want to jump in?
Well, I just wanted to say that I agree with Michelle. The 12-week year has been kind of my Bible lately. I think that one thing about the 12-week year, though, I noticed that really as a real estate agent, we just have 3 or 4 goals. I mean, and I like the way Coach explained it, you know, and put everything down, you know, the zones, the red zone, the top 25, 3 a day, you know. That's really, because I kept thinking, okay, well, yeah, my goal is to get, you know, listings. Okay, and in the next quarter, that's going to be my goal too. And that's going to be my goal every quarter. But as far as, because I was a teacher, excuse me, there's kind of a good and bad thing. Every day we had to write lesson plans every week, and every day we followed that plan and we checked off, okay, I did the reading lesson, I did the math lesson. So the being focused of writing things down and doing my goals and being disciplined is kind of easy for me. I get on the learning curve thing, though, it's because I was a teacher. I was not anywhere in business or how business works or any of that. And I'm like you, Rochelle, I'm about 1.5 years or so, but I'm just now getting into a place where I feel like I understand about a business, and I understand about that I am, you know, I'm trying to, like sales. And right now, I'm kind of stuck on this digital thing. I really am learning a lot about going digital. Yesterday, because I couldn't be at the conference, I studied making a ClickFunnels. And so I'm learning how to do some things, and I don't know. But you definitely have to just get up and make your 3 calls, do your 3 texts, do your 3 videos. You know, you just have to do it.
So Victoria, I observe you as being a person who runs at a pretty high prey drive level. But I want to, because I see you doing stuff like that all the time, taking the initiative, learning ClickFunnels, trying new things. But let me just throw this question out to the group. Have you ever identified any specific activities which help you to raise your prey drive, which get you more engaged, more excited, more focused? When you find yourself kind of down in the dumpers, what is it that lifts you up and gets you back on task and back in the game? Letitia, you want to jump in on that one?
Yes, I think for me, it's going around people and talking to people. You know, it's just engaging with someone else because, you know, it's a fresh person because they're out there and you have no idea that, you know, who's going to be next. And my thing is, it's this whole, you know, although I am techie, you know, we run our business with automation, everything, but it's just been too much. And I yesterday when I was supposed to have a luncheon with one of another realtor that ended up, she didn't make it. I'm like, I'm going to stay here in the city center area, go to lunch, went to La Madeline, and what just turned to conversation with some of the ladies, the wait staff there, and 2 or 3 ladies. It's like, I exchanged numbers. I gave 2 of them my card. There's a lady who goes, I live in Katy. I own 2 homes. but I want to buy, my parents live in one and this and that, and I'm looking for another one. And you would have never known. I mean, you know, and so it just turned out to someone didn't show up, you know, on the agent attraction side, but I still got to engage with people and, you know, complimented the manager. All their employees were just phenomenal. And that meant a lot to them too, as employees. So I'm like, but my thing is pray, when you call it pray, is I don't have a problem talking to people. I will have conversations everywhere and exchange numbers, but it's the pray drive. I just love that. It's that, but then it's like, okay, I have to have the same pray drive to making that phone call, to sending that email, to connecting them to a mortgage person. And this morning I told myself before 9 o'clock, I'm going to send that email to Josh and connect one of the contacts that I had from an open house. That pray drive isn't spilling to that section, to that area. So
Okay.
that's
Well, the fact that you know it is progress. So let me I'm going to answer it myself, and then we'll open it for anybody else who wants to answer. It's almost the opposite of what Letty said. For me, my pray drive gets reactivated when I get away from people. It's actually in the daily grind and doing the same thing day after day after day, I kind of get worn down and fall into a rut. But if I can step out and do something different, and that might be going to a seminar or reading a book or just taking a few hours and going away by myself to let my head clear, and then that's when the clouds part for me, and I can begin to see the big picture. And it's always the big picture which motivates me, even though I focus on close tactical issues to drive activities. It's when I see the big pictures, when I get in touch with the why that so many people talk about, that I get excited and refocused and come back and engage in those daily activities with more vigor and more focus. And so, you know, I'm not just kind of making this stuff up. I'll tell you, yesterday was a very pivotal day for me because I had the whole, after the seminar, I was going to that wake last night, which was on the other side of downtown. So I had a few hours in the afternoon and I used those very productively. I went to a little coffee shop called Sweet and sat in there, ate a piece of cake and drank a cup of coffee for 2 or 3 hours and thought through at a deep level what I need to be doing to accomplish this goal of 1,000 agents on our team and 50 closings a month for my mortgage company. And I wrote down a whole series of activities on the notes function on my phone, and I'm going to change as a result my own personal schedule. I'm going to devote 2 hours a day to lead generation Monday through Thursday. So it'll be 8 hours a week. And I can't do it in the morning on Mondays consistently. So it'll be on Monday afternoon, except Power Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings. I'm going to find 2 hours a day, block it out on my schedule. And in accordance with some of the things that Coach Birch said, I've divided my call list, you know, into the red zone, into the current clients, into those I'm developing. All, you know, I'm going to call according to those different categories. So I've gotten a little amped up. My pray drive has been increased just because of that time away to be able to just kind of think clearly and focus. Victoria, you want to jump in here?
Well, I want to, yeah, I'm like you, Frank. I need my alone time. I can take people for a while, then I need to go and recharge. But Blythe shared a video with us. It's a while back. It was a couple, and it was a retreat thing they were doing for agents about agent attraction, and they talked about a gentleman called Dr. Joe Dispenza and how they meditated with him every morning. So I've been doing that. Now, I'm sorry, people, I'm not getting up at 4 or 5, maybe not even 6, but you know what? It's a long day, you know. But I have my morning prayer time, my devotion, and I spend 25 minutes with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he really, I mean, he has kind of a funny voice, his guided meditation. Sometimes you have to get past the woo of it, but he talks about, you know, in there connecting with the divine. And he has science about the power of your heart and your emotions and how it affects your brain and everything. You know, when it comes down to it, it's all about your mindset.
Yes.
You could do activities, but your mindset, you have to believe. And he's really good. I mean, I want to thank Blythe on, blowing her kisses. That was a really great gift. I mean, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
So Victoria, if you can spell that, put that in the
Okay, I'll
chat
put it in the
for us,
chat.
so
Okay.
people can search on that. And I see Sonu got something to add to the discussion. Go ahead, young lady.
Isn't he the guy who healed himself?
Yes, he has a healing with your mind. I mean, healing your
He
emotions.
was told that he was never going to walk. I think I know about him, that he was never going to walk. Something happened to his back, and he was told that he's never going to walk. And he, with his mind, he got himself to walking, just healed himself. I think that's the person. But yeah, he's very powerful.
I don't really know his history, but I just know that his meditations have changed my whole outlook on life.
So let me just share one thing with you, and then we're going to shift gears and just go open forum and give you all a chance to talk about anything on your mind. And I appreciate you letting me indulge my passion first every week and put something on the table that I think will be helpful to you. But I just want to kind of wrap up this little module with the old fable, and I think you've all heard it, but there's truth in it. So just listen again. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed and eaten. Every morning a lion wakes up. It knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. And the lesson is this: it doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. You are either the predator or the prey. If you're not the predator, you are the prey, and you're going to be taken. And to me, that speaks to the prey drive, that we really want to be on the hunt. And to me, this is the last thing I want to make, a comment I want to make on this subject. To me, for real estate sales professionals, the prey drive shows up in lead generation activities. So I would just ask you to think, how much time are you devoting to creating new business, to opening the door to new relationships, not waiting for it to come, not waiting for that gazelle to plop down on your dinner plate, but going out there, sniffing it out, hunting it down, and then bringing it back home. That's what the prey drive does. And that can show up very easily in things like knocking on FSBO doors or calling expireds. I'm always going to recommend that you focus first on your sphere of influence. And it always mystifies me why agents are so reluctant to call people they know and offer their real estate services. But if you get that prey drive activated and intensified, you might be willing to pick up the phone and say, hey, cuz, how are you doing? It's been a while since we talked. I don't even know if you're aware of this, but I've had my real estate license for 1.5 years now. That means I'm locked and loaded. I am ready, willing, and able to help my friends and family with real estate needs. Let me just ask you, cuz, do you have any real estate needs I can help you with? Are you thinking about buying, selling, leasing, investing in real estate? Have that conversation with every single person you know. And don't tell me you only know 10 people, right? I know for a fact you all know at least 100 people in this area, at least 100. So activate that prey drive. It shows up in lead generation activities. That's going to get you in the game. It's going to get you working with buyers and sellers. It's going to accelerate the learning curve. It's going to force you to be efficient in your activities because you're going to be covered up with new business. So judge your prey drive. Don't deceive yourself. Don't be self-deluded about the intensity of your prey drive. You can measure it by the amount of time that you are devoting to lead generation activities. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I am now going to just go open forum, and we can talk about anything that's on your mind, anything that's tripping you up, any exciting opportunity you've heard about and want to know if it's legit. Your turn. Tom?
I do have I'd like your opinions, all of your opinions. Over the past couple of weeks, we have had a lot of opportunity to purchase coaching from Nolly, from Coach Burt. Oh, you know, Frank don't charge us anything. Bless them. But, you know, they're wanting $500 a month, and you're getting stuff from Brent Gove saying, you know, you got to get a coach. And, you know, I'm struggling between, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. Or do I need to pay somebody $500 a month to tell me I need to do it? And they all seem also to be group coaching, like it's a group, you know, you attend their Monday session with a group. And I'm wondering, is it really worthwhile? Does anybody know or have an opinion on all of this coaching? Should you go into it easy? Should you go into it hard?
Great question, Tom. I think Carol's going to help you out.
I think that if you heard one of the coaches last week that we went to, I think at the Monday meeting that we went to, one of the things that he related that money to is it's not really about the money. Well, it is kind of about the money, because if you're paying $500 a month to go to a gym, you're most likely going to go to the gym, is what he was saying. And that is so true. If you have a bike in your bedroom or in your garage or in your backyard, how often do you ride it? You know, if you're paying for that bicycle at the gym, you'll go ride that bicycle. If you're paying for a trainer, you're going to go and work out more. And so if you think about it like that, you're going to be more accountable because you just spent $500 so that you can get the best instructor to help you to get to where you want to be. And I think that that was just like solid rock. It's so truthful.
Yeah, that's great input, Carol. Let me follow up on Tom's question. Has anybody hired a coach, had experience with a coaching program that you think would be helpful to us? Good or bad? Was it worth the investment? Looks like we're a pretty uncoached group, Tom. So
Well, I'm working with Nolly. I'm working with Nolly, but I don't know, you know, right now I've only had 3 sessions, and it's really more of a boot camp. He's not coaching me, but I will say this. I think there's a time for coaching. And I almost think, Tom, that getting an accountability partner, somebody that, you know, you have to face, even if it's your friend in our training, in our Frank Gray team, I almost think that's worth something. Hold your friend accountable, because that's really what a coach is going to do. They're going to help you set goals. They're going to say, did you do this? Why didn't you do it? You know, and then there's a lot of money. I mean, I went to a boot camp and the girl wanted $26,000 for her coaching program. I just said, okay, baby, I'm going to watch your videos. I'm going to read your book, but you ain't getting no $26,000.
So Victoria, that you may have just given us the golden nugget of the day, which is get an accountability partner. And I do agree with that. That is one of the primary values of coaching, is somebody's going to ask you. Sonu?
Yeah, I agree with her. I feel like in the beginning, like I was asked Frank, I was so lost. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to do. But I think, again, taking it one day at a time and just finding somebody to kind of hold you accountable for all the things you do. What helped me was making a list for the day. making a
Okay.
list for the day, achieving, going through that. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos. That
Yes,
also helps a lot.
yes.
And surprisingly, I've actually reached out to the people, some of the content makers, and they help too. Like over the phone, I've been able to talk to some of the people who are YouTubers, and I've reached out to them, via message, and they have responded and helped.
Okay, great.
So,
Okay. So, Tom, we're going to give you a chance, then Kevin, then Melanie. Tom?
Oh, I didn't know I had my mic open, but the accountability group, I just wanted to mention, I'm going to invite people. I wanted to start another accountability group. We did one a few weeks ago. We did over a 6-week period. There were 6 or 7 of us. And I believe all of us received great benefit from it. So what I'm asking in my text that I'm just sending right now is who wants to be in an accountability group with me? I think we need 6 to 10 people. And I agree with the accountability group, or spend $500 a month, I guess. Or, $26,000, man, that's what we need to be selling ourselves.
But Tom, it's on sale 50% off today.
That's right, it is today. We believe in action.
Kevin,
also
did you
being
wanna-
on a team.
Yes, being on a team, that'll help hold
Be
you
on a
accountable.
team.
Kevin, your turn.
So I had an opportunity over the years to lead a job ministry, and one of the things that worked really well was pairing people up. There is a real power, and it can almost be random. There doesn't need to be a great strategy in it, because it's the power of accountability. It's interesting that I will say things to myself and not necessarily follow through, but if I tell one of you I'm going to do this, well, I'm going to do it. And so the accountability partners really help us in that regard. And second point is there genius out there? Yes. And in all these folks that are on YouTube, I think the secret to the world is out on YouTube, but you got to go through 20 million junk videos to find it. But my comment here, and Tom, we did well with that first accountability group. I would say I would make an encouragement on the next one to really pair people up and have them get together, not just a check-in, but really get together and spend a certain time in the office. We're going to meet, we're going to work on your stuff, we're going to work on my stuff, and make sure the ball is moving. I'm not a big sports fan, but there is a thing in football, you remember hearing about it, how some teams do the no huddle offense. Y'all have heard of that, right? The no huddle offense. They got their plays memorized and they just do them. Well, what we have, or what I have sometimes, is the exact opposite. And it's called the all huddle no offense. that we all get together in a huddle and we love each other and this is good. And this is all right, man, let's do it. Okay, let's do it again. Let's go back to the huddle. No, we're not here to huddle. We're here to score some points, and we're here to get things done. And so there's a value in the accountability. There's a value in the encouragement. And there's a value in that huddle breaking, and let's go, and let's pick up the phone. One of the books that I'm working on right now, I think this is the one I mentioned, called Miracle Morning, and this is actually a special version of it for real estate, but it's priced right. They use a concept called first and 10, and that means the first thing you do in the morning is you talk to 10 people. Really simple. First thing you do is you talk to 10 people before you turn on your electronics. I mean, yes, you do your prayer time and your exercise, and yeah, you got to get up, put a face on and all that. But first and 10 means you talk to 10 people, and it can be a variety of things. And there's nothing wrong if any of us here are starting off our calls. Y'all got my digits, or I hope you do. Feel free to ring me. And you can try your script on me, or I'll tell you where the sun is shining somewhere. But, get started with a warm call to get yourself going. There's no reason we can't be starting our day with 10. But the only way we're going to help people is to pick up the phone and call them and tell them we're here to help them. So we got a first and 10. There you go.
All right. Love it, Kevin. There is a real active chat going. So if you want to jump in on that, join the accountability group, go ahead and check that out. Melanie is up next, and then Larry, we're going to go back to you. Melanie?
Well, I'm kind of switching gears. I just have a question. So we recently just accepted an offer on our house, and it's a VA loan. They offered over asking price, and we want to make sure, obviously, that it gets appraised for that amount so we can get that amount. One of the other agents suggested that we put together an appraisal packet for the appraiser. And I was just wondering if you recommend that, and if so, what does that entail? What should I do?
You know, it's interesting you raise that issue, Melanie. I've had appraisers say, yeah, that's nice, but it's pointless. And we don't look at it. We have our own way of valuing, and you know, so it's fine, but it's not going to make a difference. But I know by personal experience, it has influenced appraisers in the past. So if you believe, particularly if the comps don't tell the whole story, you know, if this home has some special upgrades, or there's something about the neighborhood that is different neighborhood to neighborhood, there's no harm in it. So I would encourage you, if you're in a situation where there's high stakes and you think there's a good chance it's not going to appraise, I would do everything possible, including putting together a great comp package with information on upgrades, amenities, neighborhoods, everything justifying that price. Meet the appraiser at the property and share it with them. Can't hurt.
So would that be just like what should I print out? What should I put in that packet exactly?
Whatever you think justifies the contract sale price.
Okay.
So obviously comps are the single most important, but if there's
Sure, and I have a list of those.
If there's background information that impacts those comps, such as recent renovations to the home, they've spent $12,000 on a new deck and $8,000 remodeling the secondary bathroom, provide receipts and show them that all these upgrades have been made.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Lori's
Thank
paying
you.
the appraisal package.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Larry Watts, would you like to jump in here? And then Sonu will be coming back to you.
Yes, sir. Going back to the subject of the coaching,
Yes.
I believe coaching is valuable. But one of the things that I have learned for myself coming into real estate, I thought it would be fairly easy because I did 10 years of recruiting, and you know, I thought that was the ultimate. You go into someone's a parent's house and say, I need your son, I need your daughter for the military. But one of the things so when it came to coaching, more of going to mentoring, I was like, oh, look, I could deal with it because it's sales. But one thing I find myself, because I had to do some searching, like what's going on, what's wrong. If you don't feel competent in the process, then I find myself reluctant to do the prospecting because I don't feel the competence. So what I'm saying is, before I go into my coaching, I'm gonna need a mentor, even just to watch the process, because you know I have a saying, you got to be brilliant in the basics, and once you be brilliant in that and you got that down, then you can progress further on. I mean, you still could close houses and so forth. Like I do new builds. The reason I do new builds because it's easier.
Yes.
But I want to do something more, and that's stagnating me right now.
Okay. All right. So mentor to coach. Larry, appreciate that input. Lori's put some additional great information in the chat about the appraisal package. Mel, you want to take a look at that? Sonu, I'm going to give you the last word before I give the last word. You're up.
Thanks. I think a lot of people have trouble with speaking with people is because of they don't have a flow of what to say. So I think focusing on scripts and role play, maybe I think that's also very important. I think we focus so much on the paperwork and what we need to sign up and all that stuff. But I think when scripts, if we have it down to being able to deal with the objection, so whenever we're speaking to someone, we don't stumble or fumble or whatever we say.
Yes.
I think it denotes confidence even
Yes.
if you don't know what you're doing.
So by the way, I'll tell you the best online source of scripts I've ever found is Mike Ferry's website. And it's probably just mikeferry.com. That's Tom Ferry's father, by the way, if you recognize that last name. But he's got tons of free resources on his website that I've downloaded over the years and incorporated into classes. Really, really good stuff. And yes, go ahead, Sonu.
I think we should have a class on that. Like
Okay.
have people come over there and everybody sit and we should pick a topic or two. And I think we should, that's something that we
practice it?
should do regularly. Yeah, practice. Like,
Okay, Sonu, we'll do that. I want to share this thought on coaching. It is a fact that those who have an actual real estate coach, and I'm not just talking about a group discussion or something where a coach is teaching, a small group of people who are paying coaching fees. To me, that's not coaching. A coach is somebody, it really is a one-on-one relationship. They know you, your specific needs. They have helped you put together a plan, not just for goal achievement, but for skill development, that they really know your situation. And kind of like what Sonu just said, they help you get those skills. So whether that's practicing your role play with you or whatever, it's an intensive, truly like a football coach tells you where to put your hand, how to hold your head on the line, all those kind of things. I think it's been demonstrated that people in those kind of relationships do produce dramatically more than the average real estate agent. And if you're open to hiring a coach, I do have a recommendation, and it is the Tom Ferry organization. Mike Ferry for scripts, Tom Ferry for coach. And again, it's about, I don't know, the last time I checked, $500 a month, but who knows, with inflation, it could be way more than that. But I've been in this business a long time. I talked to a lot of agents who've been in a lot of different programs. And I believe that the Tom Ferry program is the most comprehensive. In other words, they're not just stuck on one thing. And I'll use this example of Brian Buffini, who really is just focused on Sphere. Everything is Sphere. You know how passionate I am about Sphere, but it is not the only thing. And I think Tom's coaches are well-rounded, and they take that individualized approach where they really coach you up to where you need to be. So if you're considering a coach, that's where I would recommend that you go to get a true one. Okay. Guys, that's what I want to share with you today. And the clock says we're just about out of time. Sonu, did you have a question or comment?
are y'all going to be at the office today?
So the office is open every day.
Whoever wants to practice scripts, I'll be there.
Oh, okay. All right. So if you're interested in meeting Sonu up here, checking with her, chat, give her a call, text her, and y'all can work that out. I did want to make a book recommendation as the final thought, and it is Anything Written by Coach Michael Burt. He said he's written 17 books. I went on Amazon. I found about half a dozen there. I've ordered 3 of them. You already got some, Kevin? What is that one? Person of Interest. That's the one I wanted. It was $49.95 for a used copy. So I didn't order that. That was out of my budget, but I ordered 3 of them.
They were $10 each yesterday at the table. Come on, man.
Oh.
I'll put these into circulation. They are 50 pages thin. They'll go quick, but I'll get these, and that speaks to a value perhaps of a little lending library there at the officina.
Yes, it does. No, I would be very interested in Person of Interest. I really wanted that one. I just wasn't going to spend $50 for it. But I think he has some great concepts that you can access for $15 as opposed to $500 a month. Tom also bought several. Thank you. I would appreciate you sharing those. Rochelle?
What's the author's name, Frank?
It's Michael, and it's spelled differently. Michael. And the last name is Burt, B-U-R-T. He was the guy who spoke yesterday at Showcase, and he's the guy who'll be back on May 2nd for our next Power Monday. Kevin?
Frank, remind him to bring lots of books for May 2nd.
Hey, maybe that's what I can get Person of Interest for $10.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion. Okay, I'll sure do that. Okay, guys, I've enjoyed our time together. I'm going to stop the recording. I'll get this up on our YouTube channel in case you want to go back and watch it again. But I think we've all gotten value out of it. I know I have, and appreciate your participation. God bless.